Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back to bring you guys a live, raw reaction, man. What a game, what a game, what a game. Rough start, rough finish, and it kind of ironed itself out in the middle. But I'm here to talk that with all three of my guys tonight. I got Ali, I got Dylan, I got Nick. Everybody's in here. Nick, what's going on, baby? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Mike? What's going on, Ali? What's going on, Dylan?
Everybody's good. Dylan, man, how you doing?
Not too bad. A little heartbroken.
Heartbroken. I hear you. I hear you. Ali, man, what's up? You look like you're taking it harder than anybody else, man. We all faithfuls here. What's going on, baby? How you doing?
How you doing, fellas? Yeah, another loss.
Come on, man. There's no way that you look so sad. This was a good game.
Yeah.
This was
the crazy thing is,
game.
yeah, man, it was a good game. I mean, the defense definitely killed that game for us.
The
defense killed that game. We'll get into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, so before we get started with anything, I want to make sure everyone who is following is hitting the subscribe button. If you stumbled across this page, do yourself a favor, hit the subscribe button. Nothing But Niners bring you guys a ton of content throughout the week. We do game previews. We do game reactions. We do fantasy sit-ems and stardoms. Hopefully no one said to sit Todd Gurley this week on video. Hopefully no one said that this week on video. Well, we bring you guys a ton of content. We have a segment called Behind Enemy Lines, where we bring you guys, you get a 49er fan, one of us, as well as an opponent's fan, and we go ahead and break down the game. We didn't do it this week because of the short week, but we'll be back to your regularly scheduled program following this week of NFL football. So you guys make sure you give us a follow on here. All right, hit the subscribe button and tell someone else about us. All right, if you guys want to follow us on Twitter and Snapchat, the handle is Nothing But 9ERS. Make sure you give us a follow there. We are always bringing you guys a ton of content. We usually have someone at one of the games or at a bar or something like that, so you can feel the Niner and the faithful environment. All right, you feel that up close and personal as if you're there yourself. All right, and you guys can also follow us on Twitter. I said that already, included with the Snapchat. We also have the Facebook page, Nothing But Niners. It's spelled all the way out. There's no numbers there or anything like that. You have to worry about any kind of weird spellings. Make sure you subscribe to that, okay? Nothing But Niners on Facebook. And if you need any help, basics, you'll find everything. Plus, you'll find original content. We have an amazing and awesome staff of writers here, and that is at nothingbutniners.com, spelled all the way out. We merged with the 49ers Hive. They brought over their excellent writers. We had our group of excellent writers. Now we have the best team on 49ers ever. No one covers the 49ers like we do. We give you in-depth breakdowns of the offense versus the defense, of the defense versus the offense, of special teams. We have you guys with specialty players. We break down specialty players. Who else talks about punters and kickers? Nobody. That's the kind of depth that we get into. All right, so guys, make sure you check out nothingbutniners.com. You'll find everybody. All the writers are over there. You'll see the Twitter handles and all that good shit. But let's talk about this game, man. Let's talk about this game. I see you guys are a little down in the dumps. I'm trying to get some energy up in here, man. From what I saw tonight, the 49ers are coming together, man. This team is coming together, but y'all look like y'all defeated, man. So what? It was a loss. We're not supposed to be winning the Super Bowl this year anyway, man. We put up 39 fucking points. We went from no touchdowns to mad touchdowns. Wake the fuck up, Dylan. I'm going to start with you, Dylan.
All right.
I'm going to start with you. You got this American flag going on over there. I want to start with you, man. What's going on, man?
I am absolutely in love with the fight that they put up. I loved it. But what was that quote from Brian Hoyer last week? He doesn't believe in
moral victories.
That's my problem. We still lost. It sucks. I love the fight, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there. I'm not gonna be that guy that's gonna blame the refs for what happened. But even though that was a really bad call, we had way too much stuff that we did wrong that we shouldn't have done wrong that ended up causing us to lose that game.
Yeah, but it's not about that call.
I know, exactly.
I mean, that call wasn't a crucial point, though, and did blow the game.
Well, we could have kept the drive going.
I'm not going to sit here and blame the refs because the defense let up 41 points.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying I'm not going to blame the refs.
So, I mean, but it was a crucial call.
That's what I wanted to get out there. I don't want to blame the refs at all. because I can't stand when people blame losses on refs. But what I'm saying is, what I started this whole conversation with, while I'm thrilled with how they put up that fight, there was just way too much wrong. Still, way too much wrong.
All right, so, Mike, can I go? Because I'm definitely not down. I'm just extremely tired. But, bro, like you said it after the first half. You know, our group was counting us out. Our group was this. You know, people were counting us out. I seen it. Oh, Brian Hoyer this, Brian Hoyer that, Brian Hoyer this. Like, I'm tired of hearing how bad Brian Hoyer is. Brian Hoyer ran this offense that second half. We scored 39 points, this offense. But that defense, I mean, Navarro Bowman missed like 7 tackles tonight. Easy 7 tackles. Injuries didn't help either. But some bad calls. But Rashard Robinson, dude, on third down, like 3 times, he gets PI. Like, defensively, this team looked like a 2-14 team tonight. We looked horrible compared to going up against Seattle last week. And this is what I said to you, Mike, before. That Seattle game, if we could win it or lose it, was going to depend on how we came out and played this week. That defense came out and shit a brick tonight. I mean, you guys can tell me I'm wrong. You can say whatever you want. When your team scores 39 points, you need to win. You need to win that game. Yes, the first play of the game, horrible. Brian Hoyer was horrible. But when was the last time we had a quarterback in San Francisco for, other than Kaepernick, 1 game, throw for at least 322 yards? He was 22 for 37 with 322 yards.
We haven't put up 30 points in 2 years.
39 points in years.
We haven't put up 30 plus points in 2 years. But Ali, man, listen, I'm getting messages over here saying, is Ali gonna cry tonight? I gotta get a reaction from Ali, man. What's going on, baby? You are way too quiet. You look a little somber over there. How you feeling tonight, Ali, man? People are tuning in right now to see how Ali is gonna react. Break it down for us, brother. What's going on with you, man?
Here's my problem. I'm battling internally with myself because of time. I know we're in a fucking rebuild. I know it, and I accept it. But I'm having an internal battle with myself with the time frame. I hate fucking waiting. I hate fucking waiting every fucking week for fucking or every fucking year. Like, we have to wait 1 more year to see us have a winning season. I hate it. It's my issue, but it fucking hurts me. I can't wait 1 more year till this game next week. I can't wait till Seahawks next year. It's internally, it bothers me. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Bro, I don't understand how it bothers you so bad when you had the team winning 6 games this year.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did. You had a 6-10, bro.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
You had 6-10.
Okay. I had us 8-8. I had us 8-8.
Okay.
Anyways, what I'm trying to say is I hate the waiting game. I know it's a process, but it's pissing me off, man. I just want to see a win, man. Is that too much to ask?
No, it's not too much to ask.
There was so many positives today. There was so many fucking positives. Pierre Garçon is a motherfucking beast. Pierre Garçon is a beast. Carlos Hyde playing injured, beast. Special teams, beast. Brian Hoyer bounced back after the interception. He looked good. Now the people who are not doing so well: Navarro Bowman, Rashard Robinson, the defensive line front pressure, the linebacker core in general, penalties. I don't know. This is the way I feel. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it 100 with everyone here. And I can't do that. I can't be any more honest with you guys. This is who I am. This is what I am. I'm an emotional guy. You guys know in the group chat, I get down on them, but it's self-preservation.
Yeah, so listen, man. So this is what happened tonight, all right? The game started, Brian Hoyer threw a pick. It was almost a pick six, and immediately 90% of 49er fans were like, oh, fuck this. This game is over. And I'm not going to lie, man. I'm not going to lie. it seemed like everybody felt like that. Now I was like, you know what, man, it's early. Let's get that shit out the way. Let's shake these jitters. Let's bounce back and come back hard, right? And throughout the first half, you saw it was slowly, gradually, it was building in the right direction. Wasn't quite hitting there. He was still off for some throws. He was still holding on to the ball for too long. It looked like Brian Hoyer was again going to be the problem. And everybody had him under a microscope. We weren't just watching Brian Hoyer. We didn't just have a magnifying glass on Brian Hoyer to see if he was going to fuck up. No, we had him under a microscope. We were dissecting every single thing that he was doing, and rightfully so. These last two games, it was absolutely on Brian Hoyer, specifically the very last game. That Seahawks game, if the 49ers had a half of a quarterback, we could have won that game. I don't think anybody here would disagree. So tonight when the game started, that's how it should have been. We should have been watching Brian Hoyer. When that second half rolled around, it became obvious. At least to me, it was obvious before the second half. And I said it before the game started. We didn't get a chance to do our behind enemy lines and a preview for the game and keys to victory. But I told the group, this secondary is going to be a problem. The secondary had not been tested yet. And we saw that tonight. We saw that come to fruition. All of a sudden, Rashard Robinson can't cover anybody. Rashard Robinson couldn't cover a wide receiver with a blanket if he had one. Okay? That's how bad he looked out there tonight. All right? And Dante Johnson, who was my guy. Everybody knows I go to bat for my Jersey boys. Even Dante Johnson showed he had a lot of weaknesses and flaws tonight. Okay? Then when we lost Tart, we lost Tart tonight. That shit didn't look good either. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of injuries. We already had Eric Reed out. Bowman. I didn't see anybody talking shit about Bowman. Bowman had to miss 7 tackles tonight. Seven drive-stopping tackles. Bowman got in the backfield on a couple of plays, got an arm on Gurley. Gurley still ran for another 7 fucking yards. Bowman made tackles, or should be tackles, 7 yards down the field on 3rd and 8, and he let the guy get right past him. Tavon Austin got away from him one time also. No one's talking about NaVorro Bowman. Now, I will tell you this. People were beating up NaVorro Bowman for the first 2 weeks consistently, and I was like, chill out, calm down, wait a second. Tonight, a lot of this was on Bowman also, all right? But I want to say this. I'm going to say this. That defense didn't give us how many turnovers did the defense get? Not the special teams. How many turnovers did the defense get? Anybody know?
None. 0.
Nothing, right? I don't remember. I don't remember a pick.
They both came on special teams.
They both came on special teams, right?
And a fumble on a kick return.
Right. We had a 3-and-out happen, but there was a pass interference or some shit that gave him a first down. I think we had 1 3-and-out all night long. Okay? My point is this. This defense didn't do anything to help us tonight. That means that all 39 points from this team came from offense and special teams. Well, should have been 40 points, but Robbie Gould's bum ass missed the kick. Okay? So we haven't even got to that yet. So I'm going to toss this one back to Dylan. Dylan, you've been really, really quiet, all right? So I want to know from you, what was the biggest reason you think we lost this game tonight? You can say it was as simple as defense. You can say it was as specific as the secondary, or even more specific, Rashard Robinson. Whatever it is that you're thinking, I want to get your opinion, then we're going to toss it back to Nick. I want to know what you guys think the biggest reason is for losing tonight's game.
All right. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's pretty obvious that it was the defense. Brian Hoyer played like a capable quarterback tonight. And the offense put themselves together. It was the defense. They let up point after point after point. Couldn't stop Gurley. Couldn't stop Watkins. I mean, I understand a little bit because Gurley's a good player. Watkins is a good receiver as well. But we didn't stop him at all. It was like people in the secondary were just back there having a picnic. They might as well have not been covering it half the time.
Yeah, but a lot of those were just coverage beaters. There were some good plays drawn up. McVay drew up some good plays.
And, yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, you got to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I mean, you see a lot of these passes on these third downs and stuff like that they're underneath type plays. Like that one touchdown where they had 2 slant guys. That was a perfectly drawn up play.
I agree.
There was no way that we were going to defend that. But there were also the middle of our field, our linebacking core killed us on third downs tonight with missed tackles. We could have got off the field a lot. Navarro Bowman I'm telling you, Bowman probably missed 7 tackles easily before the first down mark. Easily. If you make those tackles, who knows what happens? They punt, we get the ball back. But tonight's third downs were definitely on our linebacking core. With missed tackles.
I can definitely vouch for that. But one thing I want to bring up at the same time, while our defensive line looks like a solid core, we have 3 people on there that we've drafted in the first round. They've put up decent production. Everybody sees DeForest Buckner's name all over Pro Football Focus. If we have 3 top 10 picks, we should be one of the best front sevens in football. We should be getting there every time. They aren't doing it. It's as simple as that.
From what I saw, Armstead gave up a lot on a lot of plays tonight. Buckner is getting there, but he just can't capitalize. Solomon Thomas had a couple good plays. Dumerville had that nice sack, which was brought back because of Rashard Dookie-ass Robinson. And, I mean, this team is young. This defensive front is going to be something to not reckon with for years to come. And it is their first year in the system. I'm not giving them that. But they're closing pockets. But our secondary and our linebacking coverage. And we don't have that right now.
Yeah. I want to get Ali's thoughts on this young on this young defense in particular. I wasn't impressed with Thomas. Thomas made one really good play. I remember him pursuing to the top of the screen. He's got amazing straight line speed, but I mean, damn it, that's not why he's here. He's a defensive lineman. Those are the kind of plays you want to see linebackers making. And I'm not mad at him for having that kind of speed and quickness, but you have to beat the man directly in front of you. I'm not seeing that from Solomon Thomas. I'm not seeing it. Armstead looks like, if Armstead plays 50 defensive plays, 7 of them he looks really good on. What the hell is he doing? And everyone talks about PFF and DeForest Buckner being a PFF player of the week and shit. Buckner don't finish it. Buckner doesn't get home. I'll take pressures. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a guy who's going to hate on pressures. Disrupt the timing of those plays. I love that. I cherish that. I value that. But what I don't do is praise that, because there's more to it than just that. What good is it if you allow him to move over to the side and still complete the pass? Okay? Then that pressure is worth dog shit to me. Okay? So I want to know, and you got to talk about the first-round players that we have on that line. We still got Tank Carradine, who's a second-round pick on that line also. Okay? Tank Carradine was someone else who went down tonight. So Ali, I want to get your thoughts, man. Give me your opinions on this defensive line, this defensive front that's supposed to be so damn good. How do you feel about it? Now, we're in the early stages of this, so we have to kind of, temper our expectations, things like that. They're very young guys. The elder statesman out here is Eric Armstead, or you can technically say Tank Carradine, but they're 2 years apart. So give me your opinion on this young defensive line, man. Are you satisfied? Do you see the growth? Is it worth it? Or do you think we can go for a shakeup?
No, I definitely see the growth. I understand this is Buckner's second year, so I understand that it does take time. Same with Thomas. Give him like 7-8 games. I want to see Thomas's full body of work. He has made some splash plays. Eli Harold is fucking garbage. This guy needs to go, like, now. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything for me. Aaron Lynch, another guy. This guy has star potential. This guy has star potential to be one of the top players in the league, but he doesn't show it. He doesn't have it. Our defense they don't play like a defense. They play like a lot of individual players playing their position. So they do sometimes on some plays they'll do things right, but they won't play together as a unit. And of good defenses like Denver, they'll play together. And that's what I'm seeing from a lot of a good defense, and I'm not seeing it from this defense, especially tonight. In Seattle, we saw it a little bit more that they were playing together. They were rallying to the football. But tonight, you didn't see it. To give up fucking 41 points to the Los Angeles Rams, Jared Goff, is at home, is pathetic. It's pathetic. I don't know. When you put up 39-40, you should be able to win the game. You should be able to win the game. So
I agree.
Those are my thoughts on.
Mike, let me ask you a question. Mike, you just sat here and said this defense isn't playing to what it should be. This defense is supposed to be badass, right? Who's saying that? We're saying that as fans.
Not just us. Not just us. No, we're supposed to be we, the 49ers, are supposed to be emulating what is known as one of the most dominant defenses of the past 7 years in Seattle's defense. That's what we're supposed to be emulating. Jacksonville was the 6th ranked defense last year because they emulate this defense. The other team that played against the Patriots in the Super Bowl had a replica of this same exact defense. They made it to the Super Bowl. Right. This team isn't that. We're not there. But so the entire league is
not there. We're 3 games in on this system.
Okay.
So we're supposed to be a Super Bowl contending defense in 3 games?
No, what we're supposed to have are corners who can keep an assignment.
Look, I told all y'all since preseason. Rashard Robinson's dookie, and he needs to be benched. Y'all all laughed at me.
Okay. Even without Rashard Robinson, even without him, we're supposed to have defensive linemen who can get to the quarterback and disrupt plays, not just move them a little bit to the left or to the right, and it counts as a PFF pressure. But we're supposed to get guys who can bring quarterbacks down.
But as to what Ali was saying, where he's saying this team doesn't play together, well, it's a one assignment team. That's what you're supposed to do in this scheme. You have one assignment, you do your assignment, and hope that your other 10 players do theirs. This isn't a team-style defense. Even in Denver, even in Seattle.
No, yes. I disagree with that. I'm going to tell you why. Because the defensive line in Seattle makes that secondary better. Who led the league? Who led the league last year in sacks? Do you remember who it was?
Yeah, it was. We had this conversation. It was.
You remember what team?
Seattle.
You remember what team he played for? Anybody? Dylan? Ali?
Vic Beasley led the league in sacks.
And what team did he play for?
Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The team emulating this style. That's why Atlanta's secondary was able to benefit because they got some kind of pressure.
Yeah, but Mike,
we don't get it.
This is what I don't understand. You guys are saying that it needs to come right now. These are young players, man.
So
they're young fucking players. Was Atlanta's defense that good 2 years ago? No, they weren't.
Atlanta's defense didn't have more sacks 2 years ago than they did last year? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They had more sacks
2 years ago than they did for Super Bowl.
They had more sacks the year before the Super Bowl. Yes, they did.
With that style defense.
Yeah, Dan Quinn was there for 2 years, and he got him to the fucking Super Bowl in his second year. Yes, absolutely. Dan Quinn went over there, and he brought Kyle Shanahan with him. He took the offense, and he took the Seattle defense, and he got them to the Super Bowl. That's exactly what he did. So why can't we replicate it?
We can.
When? According to you, we shouldn't expect it this year at all. So this year's just a wash.
I didn't say that. But y'all are expecting because you have 3 first-rounders right now on the line that they should be getting to the quarterback and hitting the quarterback every time. They're all playing in the fucking NFL. They're just learned the system.
It doesn't matter. You're giving them excuses, bro. They're first-round picks. These guys are first-round picks. It does matter what round you're picked in, Nick. It absolutely matters what round you're picked in. You can't tell me a 4th-round guy has the same expectations as a 1st-round guy. It don't work like that. If that's the case, then
I'm not saying expectations, Nick.
But you're defending them. You're defending them.
NFL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit, man. That's bullshit.
It's bullshit. Well, how about all the negativity you were talking? That's bullshit. Don't call it. Don't call me out.
No, call me out. I don't care.
We're 0-3. You have the right to be negative. We're 0-3.
Exactly.
And then not only are we making bullshit. Not only is this team 0-3 and we're blowing opportunities, we still lead the league in penalties. We cannot go an entire game without 9 or more penalties. That's on coaching also. It's bullshit. You have a right to be negative when your team can't do basic shit like line up in the proper formation, like not jump off sides, like not hold a guy on 3rd and fucking 12. These are dumbass mistakes. We're giving a 5-yard penalty for first downs when it's
drop passes. Drop passes. How many drop passes?
This is all on coaching, bro. This is coaching. This is young guys and everything. Yeah, we want to see more. Why? Why do we want to see more?
How's drop passes on coaching?
What do you mean? How is it on coaching?
That's fucking execution of the player. Come on.
Everything you see on the field is on coaching. If your guys can't catch the ball, get them out of there and get somebody else in who can. Why is Bourne on the sideline instead of other people then? How many passes did you see Bourne drop in preseason? They're starting these guys. These guys need to perform. That ball hit Trent Robinson right in the hand. He dropped on 3rd down.
Trent Robinson.
I mean, Trent Taylor. Aldrick Robinson also dropped 2 passes today. Why? This team is going to lead the league in drop passes. Fucking George Kittle had a 3rd down pass right in his hand. Maybe it was 2nd down. I don't remember which down it was. Either way, this team is going to lead the league in drop passes, but we're going to keep blaming Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer is everyone's scapegoat this year.
I'm not blaming shit on Brian Hoyer.
And if you want to see development and for us to develop and work next, become a next year, you have to see the freaking development now. Like you have to see all these shit corrected now. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
Hold on. Who's got the echo right now?
Ali.
Say something else, Ali.
No, I was talking.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, that's the point I was making. Go ahead, Mike.
Dylan, I think the echo's on you, bro. I'm gonna mute you. All right. Oh, you can do it.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. My computer's being a little weird. Sorry.
No, it's all good. No, Ali, you can keep speaking, man. Go ahead, keep speaking. Dylan's gonna go ahead and go on mute.
He's trying to.
I got you. I can do it. I got you here.
Thanks.
Finish your thought, Ali. I'm sorry.
So it's just about development right now. And especially if that's what we want to see going into next year. These are the kind of things that you have to fucking tune up, man. Fine tune this shit. You want to see a team that is error free or as error free as possible. Not making mental mistakes. Just development. And right now, when you give up 41 points to the fucking Rams at home, how is that development?
The Rams have a lot of good offensive talent, man.
Oh, come on, man.
You're telling me they don't? Come on,
Gurley,
bro.
yeah, Gurley's good, but like Sammy Watkins hasn't. I don't know.
What? He hasn't what? He's in a new system. He hasn't what? He put up 2 touchdowns on you tonight. He hasn't what? You can't sit here and you were saying that Sean McVay is better than Kyle Shanahan tonight.
Yep.
Weren't you?
Abel said that, and I agree with him.
He didn't say that.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Dude, I'm just saying, you guys are like so like I don't know, man. Like you're passionate about the team. I hate when people talk negative. Like,
but it's a reality. It's not negative. It's not negativity. It's reality.
Bro, you were counting us out of the game in the beginning of the second quarter. This is fucking game's over.
I was watching what I was seeing, man. You see what you fucking think. First play was a pick. What was a pick 6? How is that not on coaching?
All right, hold on, guys. Hold on. Dylan, can you take yourself off of mute? No, don't talk. You're still on mute, bro. I want to know if you can take yourself off of mute. No? Oh shit. I need to get Dylan off. I didn't know it was like a permanent thing. All right, Dylan, I'm gonna boot you. Click the link and come right back, okay? I don't want to actually. You leave the conversation and then come right back. I feel like if I boot you, it's gonna like make you stay gone forever. So just leave the combo and then jump right back. And I want to get your opinion on something. All right. I'm sorry about that, man. I thought if I muted you, I could unmute you, but it's not letting me do it. So. All right, so he's gonna go ahead and back out of here. So listen, guys, here are the negatives from tonight. All right, a couple of turnovers that we could have avoided, a ton of penalties that were self-inflicting wounds. All right, let me see. Dylan still can't get out of here. Let me see if I can get Dylan up out of here so we can come back. And let me see, eject. Are you sure you want to eject him? Yes. All right. Hopefully Dylan can come back.
Look, let me just say something real quick.
What's up?
I understand, like Ali, I understand your enthusiasm for this team. But I'm upset because of all the slack that fucking Brian Hoyer's taking this week. When you guys are all, not just this week, in all 3 games, there have been crucial drops from all these receivers in crucial times. Third downs, keep the chains going, drop great passes. But whose fault is it? Brian Hoyer. Tonight, move the chains. Receivers drop the ball. Whose fault is it? Brian Hoyer's. I'm tired of hearing everybody use Brian Hoyer as a scapegoat. It takes 11 men on offense to produce a team, 1-1, just like you said with the defense.
You're saying that as if people didn't have a reason to be mad at Brian Hoyer for the first 10 quarters of the NFL season. Through the first 2.5 games, Brian Hoyer
was not saying anything anymore, man.
Hold on. Didn't Brian Hoyer say himself that he had a bad game against the Seahawks?
Yeah, he did have a bad game.
And he said he had a
bad game. The whole offense had a bad game.
And he said he had a bad game after the Panthers game as well. He said, I can't lose games for us. I have to play better. Those were his words following the Seahawks game. And he said something similar following the Panthers game. You're saying it like you don't want people to be mad at Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer, in my opinion, redeemed himself tonight. I messaged you privately and was like, Nick, bro, you got to get off this Brian Hoyer train until he shows us that we should be siding with him. Tonight, I think he showed it. I think he fought back from an early interception that could have been completely demoralizing. We have seen San Francisco 49er quarterbacks throw a pick against division rivals and completely melt down and follow it up with 3 more picks in the same game. We've seen that. We didn't see that tonight. Brian Hoyer showed mental toughness tonight. He showed the gut.
Brian Hoyer has shown me more in these first 3 games than any quarterback in the last 2.5 years in San Francisco has shown me.
As much as I hated Colin Kaepernick as a quarterback and didn't like Blaine Gabbert as a quarterback, I wouldn't say that. I would say Brian Hoyer showed me a lot this game, but the first 2 games, no. The first 2 games, absolutely not. That's just not right. Brian Hoyer was completely garbage the first 2 games. But I want to talk about tonight. So let's transition. I want to talk about the positives, okay? Oh damn, it's saying that Dylan can't join.
Yeah, because you ejected him.
Yeah. Let me see something. All right,
anyways,
I want to transition. I want to transition to some positive things. Okay, so I love getting the negative reactions. Okay, I just want you guys to do me a favor. I'm going to start with Nick. I want you to just run down your positions of negativity. All right, the positions that you saw a lot of negative from, or negative that contributed to losing this game tonight. Just give me the positions. Run down them one by one. Whether it's a side of the ball, coaching, offensive coaching, defensive, whatever it is, run them down. You don't need to go specific if you don't want. Just tell me what you saw that was negative.
Rashard Robinson.
Okay.
NaVorro Bowman.
All right.
Even Ray Armstrong at times.
Absolutely.
Okay. Laken Tomlinson tonight.
He's
going against Donald, so I'm not going to hold that too much against him. But he didn't have a good game at all.
Mm-hmm.
Drop passes from the receivers on crucial downs.
Absolutely, 100%.
Penalties on the outside. Penalties on the outside really killed us. I mean, like I said, Rashard Robinson had 3 penalties all on third downs when we were about to get off the field. I thought play calling was good. I think that 2-point conversion we really could have got, but the problem with that route was he beat the guy so bad to go to the outside that when he turned back in, the guy was still there. Some play calling was really good when it was needed, when the time was coming. I thought Kyle Shanahan drew up some good plays, or threw out some good plays. I don't think he drew them up right there, but But man, I'm just D Robinson. I mean, I think Ward had a decent game. He's actually surprising me with his injuries.
No. I don't want positives yet. I just want negatives. Don't go positive.
No, I know, but I'm just saying secondary, and I'm talking about the secondary being a negative. I don't want to single anybody out. But I think the scheme, the cover 3, it is hurting our receivers where we're not playing press more often. So, but I'm completely embarrassed by Navarro Bowman's play. If you thought he didn't make the top 100 team the last 2 years, he's definitely not making it. He doesn't have a good start to making it this year.
Ali, I want to throw it to you, man. Is Bowman going to make the top 100 this year? Is Bowman going to make the top 100 this year?
In the CFL.
Give me your biggest negative this week. What contributed to this loss, and then before we switch it over to the positives.
Nick covered a lot of the negatives.
Absolutely.
You know, I really don't have many other ones than what he said. He covered them.
Okay.
Just to touch on Robinson again, he I don't know what it is, if he's not aware of what's going on around him, or like where is his head at when he's on the field. Is he just trash talking and worrying about what the other person's saying, or worrying about what his next comeback's going to be more than the game? Like what's up, bro? Like, we're playing football here, yo. Like, let's go. Shit. Eli Harrell, trash. I said it. I already repeated that, but I don't know. He covered a lot of the negatives. The offensive line, it held up for the most part as much as he can. Tomlinson got beat, like Nick said, quite a bit. But, you know, you're going up against the best interior lineman in the NFL. So, you know, I will cut him some slack. But here's a negative. Hoyer's inability to just, like, move a little bit and scramble away from a little bit of the pressure. I felt like every time someone was around him, he just, you know, went under and just laid down for the sack. You know what I mean? Step to the side, try and fucking be a little bit mobile. See if you can find a receiver downfield. Don't just if someone's coming for you, don't just you know, lay down and take it. But yeah, that's it for the negatives. I'll let Dylan chime in there.
Yeah, there you go, Dylan. Any other negatives that you might think of? Let me know what you got here.
I mean, I think the biggest negative, nobody got to list it, but it's my computer. Because that thing just went crazy. Trackpad stopped working. I couldn't move it. It was a rough situation, much worse than any of our secondary. But I mean, on a serious note, yeah, you guys have pretty much hit it all. I like what you said about Lakin. Yeah, he got beat a lot. Unfortunately, I mean, he was going against Aaron Donald. You can't be that upset. So I mean, the secondary, the linebackers, I already voiced my level of disappointment about the D-line so far. I mean, there was just a lot of I don't know if anybody said it, but extra points, you got to make them. I know they moved it back, but you got to make them. It sucks that Robbie Gould missed it. He put us in another position to win with a absolutely phenomenal onside kick. So I feel like he almost did enough to redeem himself there.
Hey, Dylan, quick question for you, because I know you've been against the Solomon Thomas pick from the start. What did you think of his play today?
I feel the exact same way I have. He made one or two good plays, and that's what everybody bases it off of. Everybody's going to say those two plays, look at them. But at the end of the day, if all those two plays were all he really brought to the game, then it wasn't worth a number 3 overall pick.
I like it. Anything else you want to add to the negative side before I ramble off what I got left?
That's about it.
All right. So before I get to mine, I want to read a message here from Adam Henderson here. He said that McVay is an extension of Kyle Shanahan. So in a sense, this defense got beat by Kyle Shanahan. That's interesting. Because they were close. You know what I mean? Like that's very interesting. That they did work together, and it's I don't know. I just thought that was extremely interesting to look at. But I do have a couple of things that you guys didn't mention yet. I want to see if anyone else said anything first. Coaches don't make excuses. All right. So there's a little debate going on in the chat room right now that Brian Hoyer is making excuses for losing. I'm going to throw this to Ali first. Just a quick yes or no. Do you think Brian Hoyer is making excuses other than himself for why we're losing these games?
No.
Okay, Dylan.
That's not what they said. They said that Brian Hoyer's not making excuses. He's taking all the blame.
Right, and another person is saying it started because one person said Peyton Manning never made excuses for losing games. The other person said, when did Brian Hoyer make excuses? He said it's all on him. And then they started going back and forth. So I'm saying I've never seen Brian Hoyer make an excuse. I don't think any of us have. Right?
Brian Hoyer has impressed me more in press conferences than he has on the field.
Well, that's not – other than tonight, that's not hard to do. All right, so let me get on with my point here. So let me run down my list of negatives that I have here, okay? Number one is Brian Hoyer holding on to the ball too long. Too many times tonight during crucial points of the game did he hold on to the ball too long, pat it, and take unnecessary sacks. He even took a sack on the game-deciding fourth down play because he held on to the ball for way too long. No one has mentioned this yet. I don't know if you guys just completely forgot about it or what, but Brian Hoyer held on to the ball for way too long. Now, I don't have all 22. I don't know if people were blanketed or what. Maybe he couldn't throw somebody open. I don't know. But what I saw was Brian Hoyer hold on to the ball for far too long on the game-deciding fourth down. Do something with the ball. If you're not going to throw the ball, don't fucking stand there and keep backpedaling into where you know the guys are. See, what happens is the offensive line, they start like this and they block like this. And this is what your offensive line does. Brian Hoyer is my little NFL symbol here, okay? So the offensive line starts like this, and then they end up blocking like this. This is how they block. Brian Hoyer made them end up blocking like this. So as they crashed, boom, it was a sack on fourth down. You can't do that. Not on a crucial fourth down. Get rid of the ball. He held onto the ball for far too long, way too many times in this game. I think he was sacked like 4 times this game. I want to say 3 of them were because he held the ball for too long. You disagree, Nick?
Yeah, because we don't know what's downfield. You're not going to throw the ball away on fourth down.
Because of an unknown?
Trying to win the game. You're not going to throw the ball away.
Yeah, no, you absolutely throw the ball away on other plays. I said, are you listening to me? I said he got sacked 4 times this game, 3 of them because he held the ball too long. You can't do that in the game. You can't do that in the game. You throw it away so that you're not losing field position. Throw the ball away. You absolutely do that. Maybe not on the fourth down play.
You said on the fourth down play, he held the ball too long and went back and took a sack on it, and he needs to get rid of the ball. You can't get rid of the ball if it's a fourth down. You got to try to keep the play alive as long as you can.
Okay, so throw it to someone and give your wide receiver a chance. Don't take the sack. You still can't hold on to that ball. You're giving up on the team at that point. Throw the ball. Let one of your wide receivers at least try to fight for it. Hope for a pass interference call. It happens in the NFL. Hope for a pass interference call.
But you also have the chance of it being picked and losing the game.
You lost the game taking the fucking sack.
This is quarterback mentality, man. You don't know what downfield is open and what's not. You don't just throw the ball on fourth down when you're trying to win a game.
This is coaching and game situations. You can't just hold on to the ball and say, all right, I'll take a sack instead of giving someone a shot or instead of hoping for a pass interference. You got to get rid of the ball. Holding on to the ball is literally waving the white flag. In that situation, you just gave up on the game. You can't do that. So that's one of my negatives.
I will never agree with you on that. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're right. It's better to take the sack instead of give someone a chance. You're right. All right.
No, but it's better to try to get out of the pocket than just throw the football on fourth down.
He stayed in the crashing pocket and backed into the pressure.
Okay.
Did you see the last play that we had on offense?
No, I didn't watch it.
The other thing is coaching play calls and penalties. The play calling on this coaching staff in crucial situations, running the ball when we shouldn't be running the ball. Or when we called passing plays, it was 3rd and long, and we're throwing 2 or 3 yard passes. These play calls coming from Kyle Shanahan are disheartening. You heard the boos coming from the stadium at random points of the game. That's why. All right? The other thing from coaching is the penalties. They have to get these guys in better positions to win. This is on the defense. This is on the offense. This is all around. We cannot keep defeating ourselves. We had 10 penalties tonight, guys. 10 penalties. We had 10 this week. We had 9 the week before, and I think like 14 in week 1. It's unacceptable. We cannot continue to stab ourselves in the foot. We can't do it. These penalties are giving the team extra opportunities or setting us further behind in the sticks. No matter how you look at it, penalties do not help. We can't keep doing that. All right? Another thing that I have here is defensive play calling and the scheme. If you are going to sit here and continue to leave your corners on an island, you have to generate pressure somehow. You have to. You can't keep leaving Rashard Robinson in one-on-ones when you know he can't cover. You can't keep leaving Dante Johnson in one-on-ones when you know he can't cover. You got to send a safety over there. You got to send a freaking linebacker over there, or send one of these guys in on a blitz to get the quarterback off his mark and pressure him to releasing the ball sooner. You can't give these guys all day long. The defense is not going to work if you don't have those elite type corners that can cover for long periods of time without pressure. It's just not going to work. It can't work. Nowhere in the NFL do you give a quarterback 5 seconds and your corners are still covering well. It can't work. All right? The other thing I have, middle linebackers were horrible tonight. Nick touched on this. NaVorro Bowman as well as Ray Armstrong. These guys were garbage tonight. Yeah, they had 4 or 5 good plays. I don't even know if Bowman had any good plays tonight. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think I remember seeing one really good Bowman play tonight. I think I saw one really good Bowman play tonight. But Ray Armstrong was bad. NaVorro Bowman was bad. Arm tackling instead of running through guys. These guys have a lot to work on, okay? It's not acceptable. We are not going to get anywhere with this, okay? DBs tonight. I already touched on that with the play calling and the scheme. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about the defensive line. The defensive line is just not doing enough. If we're going to be this team that is supposed to generate pressure with our 4 down linemen, we have to do a more effective job. We've talked about it over and over. That's what this defense is supposed to be. We don't have the Cliff Avrils over here. We don't have the Michael Bennett's over here. We don't have the Red Bryants over here. We have to get it. We're supposed to have it. That's what all these first-round picks are for. We need to see more from these guys. So we're going to wrap this up on a positive note, all right? I'm done with my little rant. I want to talk about the positive because I honestly – you guys are going to think I'm fucking crazy when I say this. I think there were some positives to take away from this. Not more positives than negatives, but it's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn close. So I'm going to start with Nick because I know Nick has a lot of positive shit to say about this team tonight. If he's anything like me, he's got a whole list of positives to say about this team. So I want to know some of the things that Nick has that are positive for tonight because this team showed a lot of fight. That I'm going to stop because that might be one of your positives. So go ahead, Nick. Give us some positives, and we're going to throw it to Dylan.
Yeah, definitely positives for me is the fight. I mean, we haven't seen this team battle like this in the second half in a while. That's definitely one of my biggest positives. Pierre Garçon is definitely one of my biggest positives. I mean, even Goodwin at times in the game tonight was a good positive. But, man, Pierre Garçon is just a beast, bro. He's just a beast. He's running all over in this system. I think he's going to thrive if this offense can start clicking and Hoyer can start getting rid of the ball faster. Like you were saying, I agree to a point. But the execution tonight, I mean, we lost Kyle Juszczyk, which, reminder, is in a neck brace, if anybody knows. Is in a neck brace. Not sure if that's just a concussion protocol and he's wearing that to keep his head from moving around or whatever. I meant to hit that on a negative was why didn't we use Juszczyk more on that mismatch? But that falls with your play calls. But I'm gonna talk about the positives. Garçon's definitely a positive. The offensive line. for me was still a positive this week. I still think they're getting better and better as the weeks go on compared to Carolina game, to Laken Tomlinson last week, to this week. Yes, we gave up 4 sacks, but, I mean, you're going against Donald. I mean, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's definitely a beast. And I think I forget who the other guy was that got a sack tonight. Old Philly player, Connor Barwin. Connor Barwin got a sack, I think. But the separation between some receivers, Trent Taylor definitely showed some explosion tonight. Yes, he missed the ball, but he did show some explosion, and you've seen that footwork from him tonight in some play draw-ups. But the offense fighting back and scoring 39 points, biggest positive. I did see some positives on the defensive side. DeForest Buckner, he's still getting pressures, but I still want to see those sacks. He's not capitalizing on plays like that. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for me, man.
Okay. All right, Ali, what about you, man? Give me some positives, man. I know you're feeling a little down, but there's no way you went through this entire game. There had to be a point in this game where you were standing up off your seat and yelling at your television, because that was me the entire second half. Give me something that made you stand up and yell. What are some of the positives that you saw from this team tonight?
Carlos Hyde gave me 22 fantasy points. No, I love Guapo, man. The guy's fucking warrior, man. He was hurt earlier in the game and he came back and he just relentless, man. I love Guapo, man. Our fighter are willing to not give up. Last year, we gave the fuck up when we went down. You can see it in the games. We have not given up. Even in the Carolina game, we were still trying to battle back. Nothing was going our way that game. We were still trying to battle back and trying to get some positive. What I noticed is that this year we are going to be wildly inconsistent. We're going to show one week that we're going to be really good, and a lot of things are going to go well, and we still might not win. And another week we're going to shit the bed on one side of the football, and it's going to be ugly. You know, I'm loving Hyde. I like Defoe. Buckner had a good game again, in my opinion. I like the turnover. Special teams. I'm loving our special teams. You know, not allowing on kickoffs or punt returns any long runs. We're holding our containment. We're holding our lanes. The turnovers. Positives. I'm on to Arizona.
All right. And now, Dylan, I know they said a lot of good ones, man. I know it's hard to follow all that shit up, man. You got anything else in there for me? Anything else as far as positives go? Break it down, brother.
Positive number 1. I wasn't wrong about my fantasy piece saying to sit Cooper Kupp. He didn't have a stellar game. So nobody can mess with me on that one. Positive number 2, I mean, the offense, really. Because, honestly, the first 2 games, whenever we finished, we would be like, that defense looked special. And we'd always be like, that offense needs some work. The offense proved tonight that they can make things happen too. They may not have been able to finish it, but they can make things happen. I'm not going to go into all the detail about all the players. You know, everybody's said it so far. Garcon, Hyde, even Hoyer. I want to go ahead and throw this out there. Please just stop saying put CJ Beathard in. Oh my God. It's annoying at this point. Like, okay, we saw him look good in the preseason. That means nothing. So, I'm going to stop there. But the offense put together some stuff, but really, and everybody said this so far too, the heart. I haven't been emotionally invested in a game like that. Okay, the Dolphins game last year where we just barely missed it. That was the last time I was emotionally invested in a game, and I was up on my seat, pumped up about this.
Try being there for that game.
What's that?
I said try being there for that game.
But, I mean, other than that game, it's been like a solid 2 years since I've been that excited about a football game the 49ers are playing in.
All right, so you guys touched on a lot of really, really good points, and it's going to be hard to follow up with that, but I do have a couple of things that you guys didn't mention, all right? Before I do want to point out one other thing, and I know this is going to be a negative thing, but do you guys have any idea how many sacks we got tonight? Not how many we gave up, how many we got. How many times did we sack Jared Goff?
Zero.
We didn't touch him and bring him to the ground a single time. This is what I talk about when I say it's unacceptable for those high of draft picks to not get him one time. It's not acceptable, man. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about that has to absolutely stop. So I was looking at some numbers here, man. Brian Hoyer was 23 of 37 for 332 yards. He averaged 9 yards a completion. That's pretty damn good. All right, 2 touchdowns in the pick. We know that he could have had more. There were a ton of drops. I off the top of my head, I remember 4 drops. I remember 4 drops off the top of my head. Alden Robinson had 2, Kittle had 1, and Trent Taylor had another one. Those are the 4 off the top of my head. I feel like there was a running back that dropped one, but I don't remember if it was Tart or Breida. But I know of 4 off the top of my head. Those aren't on him, okay? But whatever the case is, Brian Hoyer did a really good job of pulling it together after that very rough first snap of the game, okay? Brian Hoyer did a good job of maintaining his composure, pulling it back together and getting his shit together. You know what I mean? So that was awesome to see. One of the things that I also liked tonight was seeing Jimmy Ward. I was the most apprehensive person about Jimmy Ward just coming in and getting a starting position right away. Like, we didn't see him in training camp. Well, I didn't see him in training camp, but we didn't see him. He didn't practice throughout training camp, only through OTAs. All right? He didn't do anything during preseason, and all of a sudden we're just going to give him a starting position. I was one of those guys like, screw that. You know, Lorenzo Jerome, he earned this spot. You know what I mean? Adrian Colbert, they earned this spot. Make Jimmy Ward earn his. Wrong. Jimmy Ward looks like he belongs out there. He's hitting people. He's getting up and standing over them. He's talking shit after he lays someone out. I love that. I absolutely love that. That's what the Niners used to be. When the Niners were a good team, that defense made you fear coming across the middle. That's what I want to see from our safeties. That's what I want to see from our linebackers, okay? Another good thing that I saw tonight was the amount of yards that we put up. We put up over 400 yards in offense tonight, okay? And for us to be as far behind as we were at some points in this game, for most of this game, I feel like we were down 2 scores. And we would pull back within 1 score, then they would score again, then we back within 1 score, and then we were right there, ready to strike and win this game. But for us to be down 2 scores so much tonight, I felt like it was a balanced attack, okay? If you go ahead and add up all the totals, all right, counting one of Brian Hoyer's scrambles, we had about, 25, 30, 33 rushing attempts, and Brian Hoyer passed 37 times. For us to be down 2 scores so much tonight, it was a very balanced attack. A very balanced attack. And that's hard to maintain, being down 2 scores so much. I know that's not going to seem like it's that important, but that's going to play dividends later on when teams are trying to game plan. When the 49ers are down, what do? Well, shit, it looks like they still do this. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of things that are going to come into play later on and down the field for us. All right? Another positive. Forget the wide receiving core. Pierre Garçon. 7 catches, 142 yards. This guy was a monster out there. That toe drag was probably the best catch a 49ers player has had since Anquan Boldin's stretching backwards and catching the ball over his head. I haven't seen another 49er wide receiver make an amazing catch like that, and I don't know how long. When's the last time you saw a 49ers wide receiver catch a ball that was thrown 3 yards out of bounds while his toes were still in? You don't see that anymore. His body was fully extended. He drugged both of his toes, and he brought in the catch. That was amazing. What's up, Nick?
Quentin Patton.
Quentin Patton did that too?
He did that one with that big play.
Was that the one against? No, the one against Arizona wasn't a toe tap. So I don't know which one you're talking about. I don't remember it. But my point.
Before you go, can I just say one thing about a positive I forgot before? I don't want you to see if you touch on it, but 2 for 2 on deep balls.
Yeah, that was my next thing. I was gonna get the Marquise Goodwin. One of them hit the player. But we absolutely killed it. This is something that all the fans were saying, oh, well, you led the preseason in play action snaps. We're not seeing it now. I'll be damned if Brian Hoyer didn't put his foot in their ass tonight. All right, he hit Marquise Goodwin with that beautiful, 62-yard pass. 62 yards, man. We've been dying to see that. That was amazing. Listen. He was on my bench tonight. Marquise Goodwin was on my bench, but it was amazing to see 8 points on my bench off of just 2 catches. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like it was wonderful to see that. And then he hit Pierre Garçon with one that was mad. Well, I think Pierre Garçon was almost 60 yards also, 59 yards. And let me tell you guys something that was more beautiful about that Pierre Garçon pass, right? When he threw that ball, I was like, oh, he overthrew him. Oh, he overthrew him. When he stretched out for the ball, I was like, oh, he overthrew him. When he was coming down with the ball in slow motion, I said he overthrew him. He caught that shit. And you know what made it great? It was in the spot that only Pierre Garçon could get it. It was either going to be Pierre's or no one's. It was no way that was going to be an interception. I was like, oh, he put too much under it. Wrong. Brian Hoyer put that shit exactly where it needed to be to make sure only his receiver could get it. That was an amazing throw by him. I was more impressed with Pierre Garçon's deep pass than I was Marquise Goodwin's. But they were both dimes. They were beautiful, beautiful passes. We haven't seen that here in San Francisco in a very long time. Not 2 in a game. We definitely haven't seen 2 in a game. All right? Another thing that I wanted to touch on before we get out of here, I wanted to talk about the running backs. All right? Now, I know Mostert had that fumble. Okay? But when I see Breida come in, and when I see Carlos Hyde in there and I see Mostert, we're not losing a lot when one guy goes down and the other guy steps up. We're not losing a lot. We're losing some. You can see the difference. But for Mostert to get his first carries, other than that fumble, I was pretty impressed with what he was doing, okay? And that's something to build on, all right? And that's where I'm going to end this thing. We saw a ton to build on tonight, guys. Offensive play calling, defense. All right, so check this out. The defense looked really good week 1 and week 2, and we were like, the offense has to wake the fuck up. This week, the offense woke up, but the defense didn't come. The defense wasn't here. We are going to find a balance. I think we now have a better idea of what this team is. Let me give you guys a breakdown of what this team is. We are stingy against the run when we know teams have to run. There was a couple of goal line stances that were there tonight that I was very impressed with overall, okay? We didn't hold them all the way, but yes. I'll be damned if this defensive line didn't hold up. Even Bowman, the one good play Bowman had was when he came in there on the goal line stance. That was an amazing thing to see, watching Bowman knife through that line and hold Gurley from getting his 5th touchdown tonight, okay? I love seeing that, all right? We are stingy against the run when we need to be, okay? What we are able to do tonight is identify who this team really is. We're going to be a team who can put up points on offense. We're going to be a team who can be stingy against the run, but we're going to struggle against the pass. We're going to struggle with penalties. We're going to struggle at times with play calling. We are now starting to see the identity of this team until we can iron out these wrinkles, okay? So now when you're going forward and you're saying, oh, we're going to be playing against the type of Drew Brees, that's not going to be a win for the 49ers. He's going to pick that secondary apart. But when we're going against a team like the Jets, where they don't have a quarterback, you can be confident and say that's going to be a win. All of a sudden, this team has an identity, and that's what I love seeing the most about tonight's game. It helped me identify who this team is and who they aren't, and that's where I'm going to end this. You guys have anything else to say?
No.
Dylan's good. Nick, you good?
Yeah, Ali, you good? I'll finish it up, but
I'm just curious. What's before we wrap this up? What's the record prediction for the rest of the year? I'll give you mine.
Oh boy, the record prediction for the rest of the year. All right, let me pull up my schedule here. You go ahead. Yeah, you go. I'll go after you.
I'll give you mine. I think I say we go realistically, I say we go 3-13 now.
Wow. 3-13. Okay.
Wins against the Colts, against the Bears, and then maybe a Jacksonville win late, or maybe a revenge win against the Rams at the last game of the year.
You want me to go?
I've said, yeah, you go.
I had to go get my little pocket schedule. I'm going to go with 4 to 5 wins.
Okay.
So 4-12?
I would say 1 against the Cardinals at home, just because I don't think they're going to get their stuff together. 1 against the Rams, the Colts, and the Bears. That's all. And the Bears will be tough with that weather, but I mean, it'll be.
I hear you, Dylan, man. I understand your logic. I got a lot more logic behind mine, man. I got a lot more.
Okay,
Nick, I want to hear what you still holding tight to your 12-4. There's still hope. We can run the table and lose one more. No, I'm being serious. I don't know.
All right, so let's see. I'm gonna take a win at the Cardinals, a win at the Skins.
I like it.
1, 2. I'm gonna say we beat the Giants too because of their offensive line if they don't get shit together. So that's 4. Bears 5. I still think we can beat the Jaguars and the Rams. So that's 7 right there that I have.
I'm sorry, I missed the Jaguars. No, put that up as a win too. That's my bad.
No. Oh, and I think we redeem ourselves still. I think we redeem ourselves against Seattle.
Okay. All right.
We're still going to wins.
All right, so this is what I got, guys. And Nick, I'll be honest with you, man. We're not too far off, bro. We're not too far off. So check this out. I'll go game by game, and I'll tell you guys why I got it this way, okay? All right. So our next game is against the Cardinals. We're going to win that game. All right. Carson Palmer is completely garbage. They don't have a passing game. They don't have anyone to attack our secondary. That's the weakness of this defense. If you can't get us in the air, you can't fucking beat us. All right. We're going to see this offense continue to grow and shine. They can't beat us. I have all confidence in the world. I don't care if we're at home or on the road. Okay.
Here's my quick reason why we're going to lose against the Cardinals. We're on the road. That offense is going to struggle again. Brian Hoyer will not be able to execute. Brian Hoyer will turn the ball over 2 or 3 times. Their defense, I will put our defense in a bad position. They're going to win 21. They're going to put up at least 21 points off turnovers.
No, because you're forgetting 2 things. One, we've got 10 days now. We got a mini bye week here, bro. We're going to be so prepared for this game. It's going to be fucking ridiculous. That's number 1. Number 2, you're forgetting Carson Palmer's ass, and he doesn't have David Johnson. The little bit of a run game they did have, they don't have anymore. Carson Palmer hasn't been accurate all year. Dylan's got a third reason for you. What's that one?
Carlos Hyde.
He's gonna run all over those guys, man. Listen. This, like I said, today's game let me identify the strengths and the weaknesses of this team. So let me go ahead and keep going. All right. 1, Cardinals. 2, we're going to get the Colts. Whether Andrew Luck is back or not, they already said he's not playing this week. So it's going to be his first game back and he's going to be rusty, or he's still not going to be playing. Either way, they got a bum-ass quarterback and no run game. We're going to shut down slow-ass Frank Gore. I'm sorry. Love Frank to death, but he's not going to run on this team. It's not going to happen. All right? Redskins, we're going to lose. I got us 2-1. Cowboys, I am still calling this a win. I feel like Dak Prescott is being exposed for the fraud that he is. He ran and rode the back of Zeke Elliott all year long, and Zeke Elliott is not going to run on us the way he did last year. They caught everyone off guard. They caught everyone by surprise. I don't think we're going to get sacks and all that shit, but I do think we are going to control the run. 3-1 here.
You skipped the Eagles. You skipped the Eagles game.
The Eagles are next. Eagles are next. Eagles are we're gonna lose that game. Okay, because I think Carson Wentz can throw the ball around. All right. Now we're 3-2. Now we're back at home against the Cardinals. We're gonna win that game. Same reasons I said before. All right. Game 5. All right. I mean game 7. I'm sorry. Game 7 is against the Giants. Right now I'm gonna give it to the Giants. This may change, but the Giants don't have a run game, and if their offensive line does not improve, we can steal this game. But right now I'm going to give it to the Giants because their wide receiver weapons are just too fucking good for our corners. Okay, but this game could change. It could change. All right, at home against the Seahawks, I'm giving this one to us. We're going to win this game. Okay, we can continue to destroy that offensive line, and they're not going to run on us with Carson the way they did to rally at the end of the game. That's 5 wins so far. Okay, I'm going to say the Bears. I'm going to call this one a loss for one reason. I think at this point Trubisky is in.
Trubisky.
And I think
That's where I was like.
Yeah, I think Trubisky's going to throw the ball all around the field on us. So I think I'm going to give them the win on that one. Okay.
If Trubisky's in, we lose.
Yeah. If he's not in, I give us the win. But if Trubisky's in, we lose. Okay.
I'm still up in the air about the Houston game too.
No, the Texans. I'm going to give us the win.
I'm up in the air about that game because it depends on who's quarterbacking, and they don't really have. I mean, they got one decent receiver that's really good.
Right. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I don't like Watson this year. Watson just hasn't impressed me at all. I don't care how comfortable he gets. I'm not impressed with him. He's not going to throw the ball around the field the way, and they don't have the offensive scheme to spread us thin. All right, so I like us in that. That's 6 wins for us. The Titans are going to destroy us.
That'll be the worst game of the year.
I'm not even going to play around with that one. Titans are going to destroy us. The Jaguars, it's going to depend on who their quarterback is. Not going to lie to you guys. I have this one as a win right now. That's 7. And then the Rams are going to beat us again. So I have 7 wins right now, but the Giants game is a coin toss, as well as whoever the quarterback is for the Bears.
You know what? If we keep getting calls like we did at the end of the game today, we are not winning one more fucking game. The Seahawks game and the freaking at the end of this game, that fucking bullshit call, man.
Well, this is the thing, and this is what Brian Hoyer said at his press conference. You got to take it out of the hands of the ref. If the refs make 1 or 2 bad calls against your team shouldn't decide the game for you in the first place. Should not decide the game for you in the first place. And I fully believe that this team is going to adapt that. Listen, all of a sudden they have this long break, right? And everyone's going to go home and say, "Damn, yo, we just played 3 really good defenses, and we put up 39 points against the fucking Rams." All right. This defense is going to go home. They're going to beat themselves up and say, "Man, if we just held on or stopped them 1 or 2 drives, we would have won that game." These guys are going to gain confidence on both sides of the ball. This coaching staff is going to get it together. They're going to realize the strengths and weaknesses of this defense. I think that we are on the right path, guys. Listen, if we lose every single game the way that we lost tonight, I will be happy at the end of the year. One of the biggest stats in NFL that reign true are teams' growth, and it's based off of wins and losses by 4 or less points. I will take this every time. Okay, well, how we lost to Seattle, how we lost to the Rams tonight, I'll take this every time because next year after the draft and we improve on a couple of key positions, all of a sudden Foster's back, all of a sudden Reed is back. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, what's the guard's name? Joshua Garnett is back. All of a sudden this team looks a lot better than it did tonight. And now those couple of plays that lost it for us are all of a sudden strengths for us, okay? You got to remember that we didn't play with Eric Reed tonight. You know what I mean? We got to remember we didn't play with Reuben Foster tonight, okay? Those guys, I can promise you that shit wouldn't have went the same way if Reuben Foster was in there tonight. I promise you that, okay? This team is on the right path, all right? And if we're going to win pointless games, I'd rather us lose them in a very close contest because of draft position than win them for no reason.
Not only that, not only did we lose Foster and Reed not playing, But even Juszczyk, because Juszczyk was big in the run game tonight, and once he went out, Carlos Hyde wasn't springing those big runs, those 6-7 yard carries. But not only are they players, they're playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And they take away. I mean, Gurley wouldn't have gotten those extra yards if Reuben Foster was out there. Those missed tackles that Bowman had, Foster's going to lay him out.
Oh, yeah.
Could be a different game.
Absolutely. Without a doubt, it's going to be completely. Go ahead, Dylan.
I want a question that I got a question that I want everybody to answer. Let's say that was the last game of the season. You're preparing for the draft. Not what guy, what position are you looking at?
Oh shit. Based off of tonight's performance.
Based off of what our season has had so far.
Corner. I'll go first. Corner. Give me a lockdown corner, and all of a sudden this defense looks a whole fucking lot better. Give me a corner. Brian Hoyer, let me emphasize this really quick. And I don't think Brian Hoyer is the answer. Brian Hoyer showed me tonight that he can put up points against a good defense. Okay? He showed that. Carlos Hyde has already shown that he's the real deal. He can run against any team in this league, okay? So what does that mean? We need wide receivers and we need corners. You give me either one of those first, and I'm going to go with corner because I feel like the wide receivers on this team are serviceable or better. Give me a corner, and all of a sudden they're not throwing the ball around the field for fucking what did he have? 292 yards and 3 touchdowns tonight. That shit don't happen with half of the field locked down. Find a lockdown corner, and all of a sudden it's a completely different ball game.
All right.
Nick?
Give me
Ali, go ahead.
Give me Josh Allen or Sam Darnold.
Quarterback.
Yeah. And the reason those are my two guys. Everyone has their favorite. I like Allen and Darnold. Give me a QB. It would take a little bit of the stress off the running game. It would open up the playbook. I feel like our play calling is very conservative with Hoyer. In a matter of speaking, it's very conservative. I think Shanahan would open the fuck up on that playbook, man. He puts Hoyers in situations where he doesn't want to make those mistakes, and you saw that in the Seattle game. So give me a QB, and then we can address corner in free agency or second round.
I like that. And by the way, if we're gonna choose between Darnold or Allen, give me Allen because this head coach and this offense and this GM like pro style quarterbacks, evidenced by the way we picked up CJ Beathard.
Have you ever seen a Draft Day with the Cleveland Browns?
I never watched the movie. I wouldn't watch anything based off of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay,
I saw.
I feel like Sam Darnold could end up being that kid that got drafted, or that kid that was like the lead quarterback. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's got to be the answer." Then it turns out like everybody hates him. I just that's what the vibe I get from him. All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
I am going DB.
I think for me, it's got to still be DB because I feel like, first off, we still have the year with Brian Hoyer, and second off, CJ, by that time, could prove to be the guy if we need.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with that quarterback position. Brian Hoyer is going to be here for his 2 years term of his contract, and he's going to mend, and CJ Beathard is going to be the next quarterback under Kyle Shanahan.
I can tell you that Brian Hoyer's not going to play his second year unless we redo his contract. I don't think it's a real year. I think it's one of those padded years to pay out bonuses and shit like that. From the breakdown that I saw on Spot Rack earlier today, it doesn't look like it's a real year. I know that sounds weird, but it seems like we have his rights, but it's not like he's there to play because it doesn't look like there's a lot of like roster bonuses and shit. But
I'm surprised nobody said wide receiver.
Well, I did say DB a wide receiver, but I'm gonna say DB or DB is 1A. Here's my 1B, the best pass rusher in the fucking draft.
Yes. I wish I had thrown that in there too.
That's gonna be my 1B. Yeah, that's
I can agree with 1A, 1B there. DB and a true pass rusher.
I
a true Leo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, guys. Listen, man, this was a lot of fun. I want to thank you guys for staying up as late as you are. I know Nick and I are on the East Coast. Dylan, where you at, man? Where are you?
Carolina.
East Coast, man.
Oh my God, you're in Carolina too. I know
I
you
got
guys
a
are
9
tired.
a.m. class.
Yeah. All right, man. So listen, guys. You guys
I'm
get up out
going
of
to work
here.
for my 14th day straight. For 16 hours.
For the YouTube viewers, I want to thank you guys for watching, man. You guys, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so, okay? This is a very fun breakdown. We did a ton of cons. We did a couple of pros at the end, and we even looked as far into the future as the draft of next year. Let us know what positions you guys would draft. Type it out in the comments if you watch this entire thing. I salute you guys, 49er faithfuls. Like Nick tells you guys, above all else, stay faithful. We're out of here.